Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Scale Riders Podcast. This is episode number 156, and here are my hosts for this episode: Detail Junkees, Skeleton, and Andres. We're gonna go ahead and talk about various things, especially about the event that they got coming up. So, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up?
Nice,
What's
nice.
happening?
I'm glad. We're all together and. Especially through Zoom, because it's been a while. I have not been on here.
Yeah.
And
No, it's good to see you, man. Yeah. Really
yeah,
cool.
and hopefully, this becomes quite a habit as we were talking about earlier. But so May, it's coming up pretty quick. How do you guys feel about this event?
Yeah, it's coming up too quick.
Wait, fast.
But I think we'll be ready.
Nice. So the event, let me go ahead and say some things. This is an event that's going to be coming up May 21st. So, I mean, it's right around the corner, taking place in Texas at the Flock Studio. And this is the put together by Plastic Society. So tell us, David, about Plastic Society.
Well, Plastic Society was kind of an offshoot of the Underground Kings. And as more of like the public group, like you have like IPMS chapters, where you have just, meetings that are for everybody. And then we had, Los Underground Kings being the club that, we're a part of here, but also, out here, we also have Down to Scale and a lot of other just, people that aren't involved in clubs. So we wanted to create an environment that everybody was welcome to. So yeah, it's hosted by everybody, but ultimately it's this core right here that's been really putting it together for this particular show. With the last show I did, ultimately, I don't know, I found myself like my whole goal with shows out here was to do something different, do something unique, to get away from the generic settings that all shows are. And I felt myself kind of going back towards that, kind of just falling to it, you know what I mean? Like it was easier to find these venues and just easier to just do everything normal instead of fighting the system, basically, the way the tables were laid out and everything. I was just finding myself just easier to fall back to that. But these guys encouraged me to keep pushing. And, we found, because it ultimately came down to, choose another venue. For a while there, it didn't seem like we were gonna, I don't know. It just seemed easier to go to something simple. It was cheaper and, but ultimately, this spot right here, the guys went and checked it out when I couldn't. And they kind of encouraged, and pushed us in that direction and just keep doing it, stick to the plan. And I'm excited. It's gonna be really cool.
That's dope. And like, how did it come together between? Because I mean, I know you guys have a really strong relationship, but as far as you've done a lot of shows in the past, David, when was it when it hit you? Like, all right, it's like Voltron. We gotta
So
Andres, Skeleton, we gotta make this happen.
Well, these guys are the ones that stepped up to the plate. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable kind of mostly doing it by myself as it is. That's the way I've been doing it. And I usually there's one other person that's really got my back, really got my side on it. And Andres has kind of been that guy lately. And then when Francois came in town, just became that third force that's actually, that are really willing to step up. Not to, diss any of the other guys or anything as part of the club or anything like that. We all have our strong points and desires of, some just want to focus on building and everything, but these guys really understood, like the mission, understood like what's needed and saw that I could use the help and maybe saw that I was also like, giving up a little bit from the last one, I don't know, and just ready to give up. And they're like, no, we don't want that shit. It's like, we want to, just keep going forward with the mission. And it's pretty cool, man. I think this will be definitely the coolest one yet. This venue is really nice. It's definitely like the original plan, to find like an art studio, and a place to really just honor our works.
Damn, that's crazy. And a question for Francois. Before you live, now you're living in Texas, but before this, you were living in New York.
Yeah.
Living in New York, model building and creating dioramas. Did you ever picture yourself in the future, being in Texas and putting a show together with David?
I mean, yeah, I always wanted to do like an art show, because I was around that often over there in New York. But I didn't know when that would happen. It just happened organically. It's not like nothing was forced. It just happened. Like I don't think we forced that thing. We have like a million conversation about it. It just kind of happened, right?
Yeah, it was really organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's even better. Nothing is forced, and I feel like we don't plan to. I mean, we plan, of course, but we don't expect too much, so we're not really disappointed. In a way, like we don't really, we freestyle a little bit. We just go with the flow, and we just adapt to every situation. And because we able to do that, I know some people can't really have that capacity of like adapt to anything, but for us, we good like this. So I kind of like the idea of freestyling.
Yeah, it's a lot more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is forced.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. And last time I saw Andres he was out here in the West Coast. It was a dedicated magazine show, and at first I didn't know Andres was gonna come out, and then when I saw him, I just saw how he was like hands-on, going to work, getting like the awards and all that stuff sorted, and I just saw like how serious he was about doing all that stuff. That and then seeing how you guys are putting this together, I was like, that's a great addition, for this team to make this happen. And how does it feel on this now to be curating in Texas, in your home state?
It feels really good. When I first met David, had he not responded how he responded to me, I wouldn't have, considered him or gone to the show. And when I met him in person, I was like, okay, this guy's really nice. And he let me annoy him for like 10 minutes straight, telling him my backstory, and how I lost my collection and my models, and with a straight face, he was like, yeah, man, we've all been through there. And I didn't think I would ever be, as involved in the magazine. I've helped him quite a bit in the magazine, whether it's packing or printing labels or anything. I'm there.
Yeah.
And I never thought that we would throw or host a show, especially not with Scaleton. I'm very excited. I don't build a lot anymore. I have a full-time job. I'm a single father. So, I do a lot more. I love the hobby, but I love my kids more. And every now and then I'll do something small, but it goes not in the trash pile, but that one bin in the corner, that you every now and then you look and then you put back because you're like, okay, that's trash. But it feels good to be involved. And once David said, hey man, I want to do something out of the box, I think I was scrolling on my phone trying to pay some bills, and when he said, I want to do something out of the box, that stopped me right there. I put my phone up and I said, really? So we got the ball rolling in that, and I don't know, I feel very good about this show. It almost didn't happen at this location because of parking. I know there was some strong discussion about not this location because of parking, but I'm trying to work around that. I'm trying to find closer parking. So yeah, man, it feels really good. I never thought I'd be here, but here I am helping host the show. So
That's dope.
Let me just say, yeah, Andres was a huge factor in keeping us organized with the dedicated show. And yeah, and then with Francois too, it seems like, yeah, we really got the ultimate team here, man. I am really excited about it. It's great to like not have all the pressure on me as well. It's like, and they're all just naturally picking up on things like Francois. He's kind of coming in, and like we've actually been meeting every 2 weeks. to go over, what steps we need to be taking now. So we stay on it and don't fall behind and end up doing everything last minute. So it's been really organized, and which is a nice change of pace for me. I really appreciate it. And it's gonna end well, man. I know it is. If the previous shows could do well without this type of dedicated, meetings and just going over everything, then this is going to be amazing. And I'm excited about it. And then Andres, I wanted to comment, dude, you're remember at the dedicated show, dude, you're talking about your cars being like trash builds, but it was just freaking classic how somebody was trying to troll you in a way and relocate his cars all over the table, but somehow they ended up in like every shot of any picture that was taken from the show. It was always like right.
That's right.
It was awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
What was hilarious is that they were staged differently. Somebody was going around moving my bills, and they would be in the lowrider class. They would be in the street truck class, and it's like, who was doing that? And
Did we ever find out who did it?
no, anybody that attended the show, I was the dude. I had my mask on, but I was the dude in the raffle table. So you saw how busy that was. I had no time to be moving them around, but I started seeing posts on Instagram, and I was like, now it's over here, now it's over there. Like, what happened?
My hunch is Dan, but also maybe George. Either George.
Yeah. That in itself makes the trip worth it.
That was funny though. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's cool. Another question I wanted to have, especially for listeners out there, is what is it gonna cost for the participation of this event? How many models can you bring? Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, $25. All you can eat. Like, bring everything you've ever built. Well, for the most part, bring what you want to show. But yeah, $25, unlimited entries. And then bring some money for buying stuff. We're gonna have some cool vendors up there, raffle tickets and all that stuff. So, bring $100 maybe. 200 bucks. Yeah,
to 500.
Whatever you can buy. You're gonna want to eat. Then we're gonna have an after party afterwards. So I mean, $100 would make sure you have a good time. But you can get in and out 25 if you needed to.
Nice. And what are the? Can you tell us about the categories for your show?
We really expanded on the categories, especially. All right, so this show we're kind of grooming to be the next big annual show for the Metro for Dallas, because we hosted 2 shows traditionally. We have the Plastic Society show, and then there's the the Underground Kings Boulevard show, which is more of a lowrider show. That's for us. That's for the club. We want to do it how we want to do it, and just have fun with it. The Plastic Society one, the one that we're hosting in May, this is the one that's designed to be more of a universal show, but also still changing the formula a little bit, by trying to make it more of an art show versus your traditional hotel setting. But so yeah, we've added here, I've got the list. Yeah, of course, the lowrider classes, import. We added import curbside, since most of your import kits are going to be with no engine anyway. They're already curbside kits. We decided to open up a class for that. Being in the South, we've got a lot of the big wheel cars, so we have a dub class for anything. Actually, I think anything with a 20-inch wheel or higher qualifies for that. Custom, curbside, street rod, street machine, street truck. We've got a mini truck class. That's going to be fun. Factory stock, commercial vehicle. Again, trying to go with the universal feel. Competition, that'll be for all your race cars. Motorcycle, miscellaneous for whatever doesn't fit. Diorama class, large scale, small scale, junior for the kids. And we're going to play around with this. I don't know if it's going to land or not, but hopefully Hot Wheels. We added 3 categories for Hot Wheels, for custom Hot Wheels. Gunpla, is that how you pronounce it? Gunpla?
Oh, Gunpla.
Gunpla, what?
Yeah, Gunpla.
Gunpla, all right. We're gonna try that. I know there's some people out here that build those, so I'm trying to get them involved, come be a part of it. It's just a fun, event. And then, of course, we're going to do lowrider hop and red cat. So we've got a full plate, not to mention all the best of awards. You know, we've got best Mopar, best van, best custom Ferrari, dedicated magazine choice. Yeah, we've got a lot of awards to give out. So definitely something for everybody.
That's cool.
If you build, come, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty dope that you guys are implementing the red cat category, because I mean, even at the dedicated show, I didn't know there was gonna be a few red cat Impalas there, you know?
They took out tables, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. Like when I saw it, I was like, oh damn, what? And I'm starting to see that more now, even online. Like I'm starting to see more and more people, you know, they're working on those cars and they're bringing them to shows and meets.
As they should. Yeah, they should. You know, they're part of the hobby, you know, and yeah, we want to make sure we embrace that too.
Damn, that's pretty cool. Hot Wheel 164, 124, and now what's the size of the red cat? What scale is that?
110.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
110.
Damn. Are you gonna bring yours out, Andres?
Yes, I'm gonna bring mine. I'm not gonna bring the Jeffries. That one's still in the box. I'm gonna bring. I'll probably bring the red one. That's the one that I do bashing on. You know, I don't really care what happens to that one. That's the one I have fun with. But I'm definitely bringing the one that Scaleton did for me. So
Sick.
that weathered one, patina.
Yeah, that one came out really clean. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm starting to see that more and more, and people that have actual one-to-one lowriders, they'll approach me like at shows or the lowrider shop where I get work done on my car, and they say, hey man, I heard you mess with those red cats. You know, can you fix mine? My son broke it, and you know I don't really post about it because either I forget or I just enjoy so much working on them that I just don't post because I forget I'm in it. And I got another one coming in this week. You know, the parts for it, and these people have no idea about the model cars until they start talking to me. I'm like, man, they tell me you do a little bit of everything. I said, yeah, just a little bit of everything. So it's definitely growing. And Scaleton actually pointed it out. I don't have Facebook, but he said, man, it's another world, but it's definitely there when it comes to RC lowriders, you know.
Yeah, so we encourage people to bring anything they have, you know.
Yeah.
Because we try to fill up the tables. If you have this, if you have like a truck, if you have this scale, whatever, just they spend so much time on them, so why not just showcase them, you know? Yeah. And we really try to make a different than usual, like those classic shows that everybody goes to. We're trying to do something a little different. So we really encourage people to bring everything they have. That's why we have so many classes, you know, to make up for.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up about this studio, the Flock Studio. So for the listeners out there, this isn't just like gonna be, you know, like a regular room that you guys just are gonna walk in, set up tables, because this looks like a place where you could modify it, right? Like paint it, or you could kind of switch it up to the settings that you guys want, right?
Yeah. They the main room where we're gonna be at, the wall actually moves, and it's like we've got a big mural on one side of it. And it's cool. They're like, we can scoot it back. It's on wheels and it separates. And are they gonna cut it in half, right? They haven't done that yet.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if they're gonna do, but I don't want to move it too much, because if we move it, we gotta move it back when we leave.
Yeah, but yeah, and yeah, it's one of those shared workspaces, but it's really artsy, very hipster, you know.
The owners are really cool. They seem to kind of get it, you know, and I didn't initially talk to them. David did, but that's how much I liked it. You know, it was different. It's not your white walls and white cloth tabletops. You know, it's different. To me, it's different, and that's why I like the Deep Ellum Art Company show that we did a couple years back or 3 years back, because it was different. You know, there's nothing wrong with your traditional shows, but you know, to me that was a little bit different because everybody's used to walking into a banquet hall that's got white walls and either black or white tablecloths, and that's it. There's nothing like that stands out. And this one, yes, it is a little artsy. It's in a great location. It's an Oak Cliff. Like I said earlier, parking is going to be a little bit difficult, but I mean, you may have to walk, I don't know, 300-400 feet maybe to it, you know, but it's worth it to me. You know, they got some good food, and just the venue itself, I like it. You know, it's very artsy. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's a
hate that
better
I use
feel.
that word. So,
It has a really better feel. Like really, like you really feel like an artist when you go in there. You know, just you build models. You know.
yeah,
So, like, I want people to feel that way when they go through that door. Okay, I'm an artist. Let me showcase my work.
Yeah.
Whatever, how many hours I spend doing those things, it's my time to shine. You know, that's kind of the way I see this. You know,
yeah. And
everybody
if you're,
knows that.
I'm just gonna sprinkle this in there again. You're more than welcome to come down. You know, you can crash at my house, and we got you set up in the little podcast studio. If you, I know how things are. I know you're busy with a baby, but you know, maybe your wife might give you that hall pass. You know, like, hey, listen, well,
Right.
not a hall pass. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I started
You know?
beefing with her.
Right? You know,
All right, I'm
finally
leaving. I'm
get out of
going.
the
All
house.
right.
I'll be
You fly
back
in the
Monday.
morning, you come back at night. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. All you got to pay for is your flight. You can bunk here with me, and we can ride up there and ride back. You know, I'm not that far from either of the airports we have here, so you know, just a suggestion. You know?
Yeah, no, thank you. Right on, man. Hey,
Yeah,
someone
that was
someone
really
asked,
cool.
someone that's watching on YouTube asked, how much will it be for spectators? The cost.
$5.
All right, $5 admission. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through the you know, shout outs to the viewers right now that are checking us out on live right now on YouTube.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, oh, Vision 124. He just
George.
jumped on. Nice. What's up, George? And yeah, so as far as like you guys, you know, obviously you're super busy for this event, but are you guys planning on, you know, I know you guys are gonna bring your own builds, but are you guys trying to wrap up those builds now? That way you don't have to worry about them the following month?
It'll probably
I'm
let
actually
go down to the last minute.
And for me, I kind of have to finish few, not selling them. And then I try to have at least like 2 or 3 with me. But mostly I just want to make sure that everything goes smooth, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more like I'm not gonna be like an artist that day. I'm gonna be more like a management in a way. I don't know how to say that correctly.
Yeah.
Like I just want to make sure like everything goes smooth, because that's gonna be my first event.
Yeah.
I know you, David, you did like a million of them, but you know, for Andres and I, it's gonna be our first one. So I just want to make sure everything is smooth and just take notes for the next one. That's my goal that day. Is just a practice show to me, you know, to make even better the next time. You know.
Yeah, I'm actually working on one that I've been trying to get started for quite some time now. David actually threatened me. He said, if you don't finish this one by the show, you're out of the club. So high stakes here, a lot of pressure. So hopefully I can get at least one done. And of course, I'll bring my other trash bills. So yeah, we'll have something.
Which one? What are you working on?
The samurai.
Nice.
So for whatever reason, David, I don't know if he's trying to tell me something, but he gave me, you know how you pack the photo etch and CD cases? I have this big of samurai photo etch, and they're all samurai. I don't know how I ended up with that.
Yeah.
If anybody needs some.
Thankfully, those aren't selling very well.
So that's good. I finished mine, so now, David, you gotta finish yours too.
My beer?
No, samurai.
Yeah.
The beer too.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's my goal. I'm gonna finish mine. Yeah.
Edgar, if
It's
you want
done.
to
I
ship
just
one
gotta
out
put
to
it
either
together.
one of us, feel free to do that, you know.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I mean, I am working on some stuff, so if anything, I could always also send out some stuff.
Yeah.
And
It may not make it back to you, but at least it'll make it to the show.
in pieces, nah, it's all good. One thing I also wanted to know is as far as like the time, or what time is this event gonna start, and what time is it gonna be ending?
9 to 4. That's right.
Thank you.
And then followed by after party after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey, sorry, this is kind of a like sidebar. So we had a spot picked out, or like one of two places, but I didn't realize how close we were to the Bishop Arts District. We need to look over there, see if there's a different place we want to reroute the after party to. There's a lot of cool places nearby, like way more cool places than I realized were like really nearby. So we may actually have a hard time keeping everybody together.
Yeah. And what if like people who bring in the Red Cat RCs, if they want to have like a hop off after the event, could that happen?
Yeah, that's gonna be part of the event. And of course, yeah, they want to roll them to the bar across the street or whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. That's cool. And how's like, because I mean out there's a lot of people in Texas, like all you guys as homies, how are they feeling about this event? Are they pretty excited?
Yeah, it's got a pretty good buzz going on about it. It seems like we're gonna have, Dallas is really spread out, and then a lot of us live like an hour away from each other or more. Excuse me. And then we've got a lot of major other cities about 4 hours away. So it seems like everybody's gonna be coming in, guys from Oklahoma, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, all that. So yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know, we tend to get that crowd anyway. And it's really cool because we don't get a chance to see each other that often, So I'm excited. I know they're excited about it too. Just a good excuse to all get together and have fun. More so, it's funny, yeah. We all get together to show off our model cars, but most of the time we end up just all bullshitting together and just having a good old time. It's just like a big get together, more than anything.
Well, for what it's worth, any listeners, I fought tooth and nail, so this show wouldn't take place in Denton. I figured everybody from the South might appreciate one less hour of driving. So I fought for you guys and I won.
Yeah, great spot too, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun over there. And I feel like after that podcast is gonna get more buzz, like more attention. We were kind of waiting for this day, to happen in a way to start full promoting the event. After that we go 100%.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm gonna read off, I'm looking at the flyer right now on my phone, and I'm gonna read off some of the theme awards that we got coming up. So we have Best of Show, Richard Mariano Memorial, Best Mopar, Best Van, Best Custom Ferrari, Dedicated Magazine's Choice, Best Paint, Best Engine, and Best Interior. As far as those theme awards, is this going to be like something at some point throughout the show you guys have to like start making that decision as to like who's taking it?
Yeah. Most of those come after the traditional judging takes place, particularly with the Best of Show. But yeah, we look at a lot of what we'll be doing is when we have our judges into looking at the rest of the categories, we'll have them be the first eyes on it to see which ones should be considered for things like Best Paint, Best Engine. So they'll be circling these and highlighting them and letting us know, hey, once you guys take a look at for this one and this one, and then we'll double back and then we'll figure it all out. But yeah, it's gonna take all of us really to help figure some of those out. Some of those get pretty tough, Best Paint can be a nightmare. Best of Show, that one's tough usually, unless there's a straightaway winner, which I can't say I've seen in forever. So Yeah.
I'm just throwing this out there for any of the potential competitors. I am open for bribes, so keep that in mind. So
No,
I can.
but we got cynical. Doug Knobin is gonna be our head judge. He's not gonna put up with any shit.
He's tough, but he's fair. So.
Yeah, he's the perfect one to just oversee and make sure everything's judged fairly. No favoritism. You know, he doesn't care who you are. He hates everybody equally.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this, that we got like the best judge for the show. You know, we got him.
Yeah.
That's a
He'll
huge
tell you
load
how
off your
he
shoulder.
doesn't really like what you did, or I didn't like that approach, and then he'll pat you on the back and say, "But good job." He's kind of like a sweet and sour pat,
All right, guys. I'm just like answering some questions that people have regarding the show here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty active. Shout outs to Chester, Ivan, Dutch. Everybody on there. Let's see here. Let's see. And
Hey Chester, I'm sorry that I confused you with that Target model. I thought that was you, but it turned out it wasn't you. So I'm sorry. I had posted that on my story, and he's like, "Bro, that's not me." Oh, so my bad.
let's see here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and read off the address again for Larry. He's asking where is the show. So the show is going to be taking place at 606 North Edgefield Avenue in Dallas, Texas. The zip 75208. What's the nearest airport if people are planning to fly in and to get to this show?
It would be Dallas Love Field. That's the only one that Southwest flies in and out of, or you have the other one that's not that farther from the show either. It's DFW. You have another one called Dallas Executive, but that one's not that known. But you can fly mostly out of Dallas Love Field and DFW.
Nice. So I'm trying to picture someone like trying to bust that mission overnight. Take that red eye, show up right in the morning. Just a carry on. Why even bring clothes? Just rock the same clothes, show up to the show, start setting up,
what to do.
start turning up, have fun, and then I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then you bounce back out, get to the airport, and go back home, and then you're back at home. Nah.
That's what you're
I'm
gonna do,
sure
right?
we have somebody.
Damn. Thinking about an exit plan, I tell my girl, "Hey, I'm gonna go visit my parents. An hour away, and the next I'm over here in Texas.
Go get some milk. You'll be back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, show back up with
Some
here. I got it. I didn't forget.
They didn't have
Back
it.
in the day, you could do that, but if she's tracking your phone, you ain't gonna be able to do that.
Right? That's funny. That's pretty cool. And what's your guys's? Let's start off with Andres. What's your favorite category to judge?
I've only judged a couple times, and they've both been different. And I've been voluntold by David to judge. I don't have a favorite one, but I really appreciate like the. It's more like custom paint, because I really can't paint. Most of my paint is rattle pan. I'm starting to practice airbrush here and there. But I really appreciate a good paint job. There's nothing wrong with using 2K clear or that urethane clear. But to me, I really can't relate to that. I appreciate it, but my car looks like it's been sitting outside for years. So I like more of the realistic, but I don't let that cloud my judgment. But I like the best paint, category if I am judged, because I can appreciate a good glossy clear coat. I can appreciate patterns. I can appreciate a solid factory color, as long as it's done right. So that would be my favorite.
So what about you, Francois? What's your favorite category?
Oh, favorite. I don't have a favorite, but I have one that I hate judging is lowriders. It's too many. It's too many. It's too tough. You know, like it's too many talents over there, and it's really hard to judge that one. You know, like you have to like do the pre-selection first, like the first 20, then the first 10, and then you go all the way to 5. You know, but it's very hard that one. But I like to judge a little bit of everything, or at least appreciate the work. You know, that below rider, yeah, it's very hard to do that one for that reason, because there's so many in it. Like last time, the Boulevard show we did last year, I don't know, like 70% of the table were like low riders. It was full. It wasn't even hard to take pictures because it was like a crowded parking lot. It was too many. That was cool. It's really, I hope it happens again, you know, but it's very hard for the judging situation. But other than that, yeah, I appreciate a little bit of everything. That's why I'm excited that we have Hot Wheels this time. We have Red Cat. We have a lot of all the stuff. So that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool to not just for judging, but also to see people's work. You know, we see 1/25th scale all the time, and it's gonna be fun to see a little bit of everything else. Judging, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but again, we're gonna freestyle. You know? That's one good thing about this show. Is the three of us, we have strong work ethic and also a sense of urgency. So we freestyle with everything, and that's what make the show. You know, it's gonna be very fun for that reason.
Nice. And what about you, David? I mean, there's so many categories out there, but which one's your main one?
I'm very much like Francois, man. The low rider class can be intimidating for the sheer amount, just the quantity of them. But then on the flip side, you know, I would love to be able to just have the time to judge all of them. Like I definitely appreciate all, you know, even a factory stock, man. I love even as simple as that seems. I love just looking at what they did, you know, the details. And calling out bullshit if it needs to be called out, you know, trying to slide that in under something else, like not so fast. But I guess when it comes down to it, though, if I had to just pick a single one, and it's probably the most nerve-wracking of all, but the best to show, and not so much the judging aspect of it itself, but just to see who it is, you know, and kind of be one of the first ones to realize this is the one, you know. So yeah, that would be my answer. Best to show.
Man, that's cool. And one thing I know, Gavin, he's part of LUGK, and I just wanted to ask. I have to throw it out there, an insight. I know Gavin. He just posted he's going to be out here in California for SoCal Open May 1st, but I don't know if you guys can leak this. Is he going to be out there with you guys in Texas May 21st?
He's trying.
Okay.
He's going to try to make it happen. He can't guarantee yet. As of I think I talked to him about it like just before we started this. I was chatting with him, and he said, yeah, he's officially booked it for the show out there. But yeah, only 50-50.
Right on.
Like a month apart, right? The two shows.
Yeah, he was saying something
apart, right?
A few weeks, I think.
N and L West also, and I was thinking, how dope would it be if he made like a tour flyer? Like, you know. Southern California, Texas, and then Northern California.
Yeah, the tour dates.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be good for him.
Yeah, just stay the rest of the year.
Good idea.
Damn, let him know.
Well, I'm gonna try my best to get out there too for that. Both to meet the dude in person and also just to be a part of the show too. So hopefully we can make that work. Can't guarantee myself to get out there yet either. And but yeah, we definitely got to meet up with him.
Nice. And are you going to be bringing out any of your detailed Junkees products to the show?
Yeah, it was funny the way I did it the last time. We just had a show this couple weeks ago, and I forgot to get a vendor table for myself. Been so just caught up with everything else. It was sold out by the time I like realized that I needed to get one. So for the MCMA showdown we had, and so I just brought, and everybody's actually really cool. You know, I've got friends over there. They're all offering to share some of their table space, which I've done in the past because I usually don't take anything serious, but I don't know, I didn't want to impose or anything like that. I just brought like my little crate and I just propped up on a table like I'm selling out of the back of a trunk, you know, selling mixtapes out of the trunk or tamales, you know. It's like,
Yeah, that was funny to look at.
so I just had a quick crowd around and, you know, threw it out there. So at very least, even with that show in May, I'll be at least doing that. I'll have a table set aside, or at least a half a table or whatever. So I can spend, you know, 30 minutes, an hour or whatever, and making sure everybody gets what they want. So yeah, I'll definitely take what I got and we'll work it out. But in the past, I haven't really been able to man a vendor booth, you know, to show I'm trying to host, you know. But yeah, but
Yeah,
you
that's
get what you need.
That's tough, man. Yeah, trying to, because you got a lot going on, but still, if you could even just do a little bit, that'd be pretty dope. But bringing out product, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would be. It's just nice to see in person. And,
Yeah.
And Francois, are you gonna be planning on maybe bringing some merchandise, a mock-up district?
Yeah, I'm gonna print a few stuff. Some stuff is gonna go for the raffle also. A few items really. I'm not planning on doing too much of that. Really planning on make sure everything goes smooth, you know. What we can do also, David, is maybe hire someone to just take care of the booth, you know, so they sell everything, just take care of all that, and then we can
Yeah.
take care of everything else. But I mean, we see by then. But yeah, for sure, I'm gonna bring a few stuff, you know. That would be stupid not to, you know, because that's kind of the show we planning, you know. Why not doing it?
Oh yeah. Well, I know for sure you're probably gonna be busy even documenting, like taking photos.
Yeah, it's gonna be very busy to do a lot of stuff, but we're trying to build like a little team, you know, so everybody does a little bit, especially people from the club. Everybody is doing some task, you know, so everything goes smooth.
Oh, speaking of documenting, Edgar, you know how I've talked to you about the whole Never Dug Disco. I used to do hip hop events way back.
Yeah.
My partner in that, he went on to create this production company. They do commercials and all kinds of video work. It's called First Eye Media. So I reached out to him. We were just talking about some random stuff. And yeah, anyways, he's going to be documenting the show, doing video of the whole event. So it's going to be really cool. So that's an added bonus.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man, because I mean, I saw a lot of those clips you had sent me, you know, from back then, the stuff you were doing, you know, with your crew. And it was just, I don't know, it's really cool to see that. Even, you know, it took me back.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah, to that era, you know, even though it wasn't that long ago, it was that long ago, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But it's gonna be dope because yeah, it's important to document these events, especially a show like this that's gonna be going down, you know?
Yeah. I think we may be peaking at this show. I mean, hopefully there's another level still, but at very least, I think this is going to be that what we've been fighting for, you know, this whole time. And hopefully at very least it'll just level out, maybe peak a little bit higher. But I think this is really the whole thing we've been shooting for this whole time. So yeah, I think, yeah, I'm excited, man. I really am.
Yeah, the goal is really to make it fun, you know, from beginning to the end, you know. Like sometimes when you go to a show at like 1 or 2 p.m., like it gets boring, you just want to go home, you know. What we're trying to do is make it very fun for everybody. Lots of new stuff. Like we're gonna try to do we still have to discuss that, but we're gonna try to do like a 5 minutes interview, you know, for people, like right there on the spot. Maybe in the podcast room, we'll see.
Yeah, we got our own podcast room. Yeah.
Oh, no way. That's dope. Yeah, you guys should do it. That'd be fun to see and listen to.
Yeah, it's either that or maybe like quick interview, like doing the show, like with people in the background. Make it fun, you know, for people. So like I said, everybody's an artist that day, so everybody has the right to shine that day.
Damn right.
Yeah, no, and what's really cool about this location, you know, I was thinking about this the whole time because, like I said earlier, there was somewhat strong discussion to not host the show here because of parking. I was thinking about the coffee shop. If you're like me, you need a little bit of coffee or come 2 o'clock, you know. There's a tattoo shop, there's a pizza shop, there's a vape shop, there's There's another little pub. I mean, everything within walking distance. And I'm thinking, you know, when we start judging, or if somebody's here with their kids and, you know, they want to get something to eat, it's within walking distance. It's not something, you know, we're not going to have a food truck, but it's a good area. So to me, that was just a plus. You know, all the, I guess, amenities, if you will, close to the show within walking distance. So,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you can easily step out and take a break and come back again and have fun. You know, it's not like you're stuck there and you gotta wait until, you know, judging and then take your models and go home. It's
Yeah.
definitely not. We try to not to do that. We try
Yeah,
to
if
do
you
the
get a
opposite
little-
of this.
Yeah, if you get a little bored between the show, okay, we'll go get some coffee or get a slice of pizza or go get a tattoo or something, you know, and then come back. I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, and that also reminded me, man. Yeah, we went to that show in New Braunfels, the IPMS show, and that was done perfectly as a traditional show. You know, the venue was like, it seemed new. You know, it was really well done, really well organized, but I hated it. You know, it was boring. You know,
Like, I want to get out of here.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. So yeah, that was with, and then these guys in my ear telling me, nah, don't give up on, you know, and just go to a generic venue. Let's not do a hotel room, you know, because we were shopping everything at the time. Yeah, we were shopping every possible venue we could, you know, like little quinceanera joints and everything, you know, wedding venues, you know,
Yeah.
like whatever, like hotel banquet rooms, a bingo hall. I mean, you name it. We're looking at everything as a possibility. Yeah, and then this place popped up. Those guys went to go see it, and they're like, let's schedule a second visit where I can go, and you know, we can make that final choice. But they were already pretty much the ones being like, yeah, this is the spot, man. This is what we're looking for. A couple questionable things, but we worked it all out. It's even got a loading kind of zone in the front. Like there'll be like, there's a garage that's turned into like a conference room when you pull up. And we decided that's going to be like where everybody does their registration. You know, this whole like single car garage area that's decked out. You know, it's got a big conference table and everything, some tables. But yeah, that's the first room you'll walk through, and you'll be able to set up and get everything prepared. And then you walk down a little hallway around, see all the vendors, and then bam, unload and set up all your artwork and everything. So it seems like it's gonna be just the flow of everything is just perfect, you know.
Damn.
Yeah,
So there's
it's
also
very,
going to
very
be like you're talking about like wall artwork for the walls.
They have some artwork on the walls and everything too, but no, I'm talking about our art. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Yes, because I mean the place looks nice. I on Instagram I click the location and I see photos from, you know, just previous events. And I mean it looks like such a sick art studio.
Yeah, you see like how packed that place gets. So it's like
Mhm.
hopefully that'll be us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm hoping the owners of the people that run the joint are there so they could see, you know, all the artwork of everybody of what they're doing. This way, you know,
they will be
hopefully
there.
this lock in another show in the future.
Yeah, that's the goal there. Yeah, they'll definitely be there. They seem really cool. They know what we're about. They respect it. You know, they've done their homework on us too. You know, they pulled our cards and
Hell yeah.
make sure, you know, we're not some thugs.
Did you feel, I don't know how it is over there, but I remember out here I had friends who would try to do like a hip hop show.
Oh my God, dude.
And they would go to venues and they would be like, yo, you know, how much is it? I want to rent the space. And right away they would cut to the, you know, and be like, well, what kind of event are you trying to throw? And if you would say the word hip hop, they would be, no, we're not doing that here. Just because there was always like things happening, you know?
Yeah. Or
they didn't
if you
want
were ever
that.
part of the rave scene, even worse, dude. Like I hung out with that a little bit too. But yeah, there were venues that were just like would not have it, or they would let us in because of our previous you know, our track record, you know.
Mhm.
And there's a place called Double Wide. They hadn't really done hip hop, but they saw what we were doing. They saw the crowd. It was good people and everything, and they let us in. And so that was pretty cool. We were able to, you know, transcend a little bit of that.
Yeah. Right on.
But yeah, I haven't forgotten about that either. Yeah, good times.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I mean this event, Texas, it's you're getting it more into the art gallery setting now, you know?
Yeah, and that's where it deserves to be. You know, this
Yeah.
is not something that should be in a hotel banquet room, man. This is art. You know,
Mhm.
it should be in an art gallery setting.
Yeah, that's so true, man. It's a trip. You know, it's come a long way. How many years do you think something like, you know, like I know you've been working on a lot of shows, but it's like, do you ever look back and go, damn, like all these years and now my focus is on this, what's coming up?
Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about it, man. I'm really short-sighted with that. It was like I know like late last year when I was doing like looking at the Instagram top 10 crap or whatever for the year, it was like, you know, I was like, this year was all right, you know, but then I look back and like, damn, we cost us a lot, you know, so I haven't even thought about previous years at all.
And also you know, you guys have been out here, you guys have something in common. You all three of you guys have been out here to the West Coast. For people traveling, can you give us some traveling tips as to how to transport your model cars or Red Cat car on an airplane to your destination?
Carry on for sure. That's 100%. I mean, I don't know, just wrap it safely and bubble wrap, like those towels, you know, those little, how do you call it? Okay, I forgot the name of it. To polish, those towels you use to polish cars, you know. This helps a lot, and yeah, carry on for sure. But that's 100%, you know, and not too many, I guess, because if you carry on drops, you break them all, you know. So I usually, when I travel, I usually take one or two. That's all, you know. If I drive somewhere, yeah, I can just load up the car, but like flying, nah, just the minimum. You know, you can't do. You're gonna go too crazy.
That's true.
So-
Yeah, because like there's only so many you could fit on that like carry-on case, you know? And it's like you have to make sure you protect them well, like you said, because if if that thing gets tossed or whatever, you know, things
Yeah,
parts
all
are
of them
coming off.
just keep working. Like it's not gonna work, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with these boxes right here.
Oh yeah, the baseball thing, right? Like
Yeah.
collection cards.
So I strongly recommend to put your models in these boxes, whether it's in a wrap it around a microfiber towel or put some styrofoam in there. But I don't recommend bubble wrap. I know some of my cars and some of David's cars that we sprayed with urethane. The bubble wrap had a reaction to the urethane, so now it's like it was a ghost pattern for the paint job. You know, the bubble wrap was imprinted on there. I don't recommend that, but I do recommend these right here, these boxes. Definitely carry on, like Francois said, and I don't know, just kind of be aggressive when it comes to the compartments on the top. You know, for mine, I had a lady just kind of give me that look like, and I looked at her and I said, I put my stuff up there. Otherwise, you know, she just would have shoved it in there. And I actually did think about bringing the Red Cat, but I didn't know if they were going to say, hey, no, you're limited to this or whatever. But the Red Cat probably would have been on my lap or in one of the compartments. But again, I mean, that's something that we learned. Do not wrap your build with bubble wrap. Maybe you could try the microfiber towel first and then the bubble wrap over that. Because we seem to have a reaction. Right, David? Am I remembering correctly?
I see, the messed up part is I learned the hard way on that a long time ago, but I stored it like that. All right, so storing it was like, all right, no.
Yeah.
You know, but then I thought short term, just the trip over, and it still, it burned through my clear. And it was funny, I didn't notice it the whole time. I'm all like look at my shit. It's pretty cool, right? And they're like, look at how good I buffed out the paint. And they're like, it's not that good, bro. There's some imperfections. Like,
No,
what?
and then for the dioramas, I know David had his ship up to Willie's in Cali. You could travel with a diorama if it's like, you know, within your shoulders width or whatever. Heck, we saw a lady traveling with cupcakes, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's a diorama in your lap? So, you know, but if you don't want to do that, you could always ship it. So just making sure you ship it, you know, ahead of time. So.
Damn. What about if you have like a huge luggage, not a carry-on, but the one that, you know, you're gonna check in? Would you do that or not? Or that's too risky?
I wouldn't put them in there, no.
I hate that idea of them being in the basement of the plane, you know, just tossed around on the conveyor belt, flipping around.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
if you're gonna do that, might as well just ship it, you know?
Right?
yeah,
That's like
David didn't see it because he was asleep, but I saw a dude like actually do a full turn, like he grabbed a luggage and did a turn and then tossed it. I guess it was too heavy, so he was just getting momentum, like he spun with it and then tossed it. I was like, yeah, I'm not ever putting models in there. So
And what if it's like the last package trying to squeeze it in and you see the dude just punching it, like hitting it, like just trying to squeeze it in there to seal the door?
yeah, so crazy shit.
That's crazy. Oh, Chester on the comments, he mentions on the chat, he mentions about foam cutouts, and then Iceman says avoid shipping peanuts in case if you want to ship it.
Same reason, right? Like it'll eat into your paint, I imagine.
Dang, probably.
It's gotta be the reaction, you know?
Yeah,
or
I bet it's the same reason, yeah.
Or I could kind of see the peanut taking a mirror out, you know?
Or just being annoying. You know, you open the box, like it's just everywhere.
Where is it? You have to dig for it, yeah.
Would you if you use peanuts, would you put some peanuts inside the interior? Fill it in?
No, so some of the RC bodies that I buy for my one scale truck, they actually come like in a pillow. So they fill the bottom of the body with this air puff pillow, and then they actually stuff the body inside another pillow. So that's kind of cool, you know. It's a lot of protective layer, but that may be too much for a model, you know, for a 124 model.
The foam cutouts is a great idea. If you can, you know, just spend the time to protect all the time you already put into this model. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't be hasty with shipping, because you spend so much time putting that together to just throw it away by throwing it in a box, and you know. So yeah, Chester's got a good point with just taking the time to do some foam cutouts or whatever. And but of course, don't let that foam be the thing that touches the body first. The microfiber or something in between, you know. So account for that.
So I got a question for everybody. Would you guys recommend putting a fragile sticker on the box? I feel like that's just gonna make them want to let me see how far I can kick it, you know.
Yeah, I feel it's funny because like whenever I ship packages, like I do certain ones, I put the fragile stickers on the sides, and sometimes I think about it and I go, man, I feel like that's like giving green light to these fools to go, wow, like just to kick it, you know. Just like toss that thing in the air and see it come down and bam, kick that thing, or like punch it, you know. I don't know.
And the way they do it is like, oh, it's insured. You know, it's insured. He'll get his money, but what if you need it for that day? You know, so
yeah.
So I actually just got your package, Edgar. I really like how you wrap the primer inside of that U.S. Postal Service bag.
Oh, right on, yeah, thanks.
Spills. That's pretty smart, man. I appreciate that. So.
Yeah, well, the reason why I kind of, I hope they're not hearing this now, but I had bought some 164 scale cars off a seller on eBay, and when I opened up his box, I noticed that the cars, they were wrapped in those bags. And I was like, yo, these are dope. So like he fit like a couple of them in there and he wrapped the whole
Yeah.
thing. So it was very like secured. And then I started to just do research on it. You know, where can I get these? And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh damn, I could order these online and get them in. So I started getting them in, and you know, I just started to adapt them. I still use bubble wrap, but for especially for the cans, I was like, these are gonna be perfect for that.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing with my leftover parts from the kits, you know, that I sell on eBay. I throw them in there, just put them in a small box, and you know, that's what I do. So
Nice, nice. No, but thanks, man. Thanks for that, for your order.
So yeah, let's flip the topic towards you, Edgar. How's business been? How's the
Yeah, I
it
mean,
seems like you're continually expanding. It's fucking really cool to see you.
yeah, it's been
growing it.
good. I mean, you know, just trying to like be responsible with it, you know, as far as like the earnings that are made, just putting it back into the business to get more merchandise.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
take
mean,
discipline.
the first year, you know, I learned some things along the way. Obviously, you know, some of the things is like purchasing things, thinking, oh, this is gonna be a home run. You know, something I had spoken with Iceman, and then realizing later, like, oh man, I'm stuck with this product. You know, I can't move it.
Yeah.
It's a good product. It's just for some reason it's not being really looked on or upon. Like this should be used.
And that may change, or worst case scenario, you get yourself a lifetime supply of that product.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing or the other, you know, when those things happen. But I would say like these first 2 months, like January, February, were very busy, and it's such a trip. Like now entering into this third month, you know, things to do with what's going on in the world with, you know, with the war,
Yeah,
gas prices going high, and all this stuff. I mean, definitely, it has slowed down for sure,
okay.
but it's nothing for me to be freaking out about, because you know, I know from working experience from with my dad at our flower shop, we went through those things too all the time. You know, we had our high busy seasons, and then we had our very like slow seasons where nobody's calling, no one's walking in. And in the beginning, that would freak me out, like, oh, what's going on? Are we gonna be done? Or and my dad just taught me, like, no, don't trip, just stay busy doing something else, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, little by little things pick up, and that's kind of where I feel like with it. But it's fine because it makes me like look into inventory, look into like what other things do I need to do to kind of pivot to get, you know, this next set of product, you know, and looking forward. But it's been
Yeah.
good though. I mean, for the most part, I feel like, man, like I'm just being blessed by everybody, you know, copying something from the store. So it's been going good. I still have some ideas and plans of what I want to do, but
Great.
I know it's gonna take some time, you know. I'm just going with the flow of all this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great to see, man, that you, yeah, I mean, just from the podcast Scale Writers to it's a brand now, you know, it's a store. And it's not just a store for like us, it's a store for everybody and everybody in any of the hobby. You know, it's been really cool to see you grow it, man. And it seems like you do it really well, you know.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know,
Thank
and
you.
we're from just the diversity in what you offer, but all the way down to the packaging, man. That tape and everything, it's just
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right
really
on, man.
that's on point. I really like it. Whatever you do over there, I mean, I always tell people, you know, like a great product attract customers, great customer service turn them into regulars, you know, and that's how you win, you know, because you have that customer service, you know. After the first sale, if the customer is satisfied, you got them, you know.
Right on, man.
And
Yeah,
since you have that mentality, you're good. You know, it's just the beginning of your journey right there.
yeah, that's the way I feel right now, because I mean, I know in the future things are gonna change. You know, at some point my dad's gonna retire, and I mean, I'm not gonna follow through with the family business. I don't feel like that's my purpose. I mean, I love it, I respect it and everything, but I honestly don't feel like it was my purpose.
Sure.
continue that. And
Mhm.
I mean, I'm enjoying this a lot and I love it. And I feel like this is more of my passion. I have more of a connection with it. But not only that, like I feel more connected with all you guys too. And that was, there's many reasons why I ventured into this. I mean, one for sure, I needed to create like another, like type of income for my family. But at the same time, I still wanted something to be connected to the community, because
Absolutely.
I felt that like if I stopped doing podcasting, I started doing videos, I stopped going to shows, I stopped all this stuff, like I was gonna lose that connection,
Sure.
like
Sure.
like it wasn't gonna be there no more. And I was like, I need to go in, but at the same time now, I see I'm like I mean, I've been serious about it since day one, that to me it's more like a career for me.
Oh, it seemed like, sorry, I didn't mean to catch up. It seemed like such a natural fit for you too, because you were already like early on with the podcast and stuff. You were already that dude that's like busting out your tools and showing, telling people what you're using, and just emphasizing the importance of having the proper tools to do do the work that you need to do. And I thought that was really awesome, man, because I've always been the dude that cuts corners on that stuff and end up buying and replacing, and that didn't work out for me. You do it the proper way, and it's cool that you're already doing that. And so it just seemed like you already had your ear to the ground and knew exactly what needed to be out there. Because a lot of stuff you get is, or has been, most of it has been imported, and so it's always a risk for us as just the general consumer to take that risk, on purchasing something we don't really know about. So you've already done the homework for us, you've eliminated that risk, and you got it here, so it's not going to take a month, and get here by the time when we forget about it, so it's awesome, man. I'm glad you found that niche and been able to dedicate your time and found a nice little revenue stream from it too.
Right on, man. No, thank you. Yeah, because I mean that's one of the things too. Like I used to see people, buy stuff online from like a new seller or a new thing, and later, they're talking about being burned and all this stuff. And I never got involved with any of that, like in the conversations of it. But I always felt, like if whatever I do, I always have to come through, even if I have to take a loss or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
It's customer service for sure. It's number one. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, what, in the future, hopefully, brands that are not in the US, even brands that I don't even know about. And at some point, hopefully, they give me that opportunity to carry their stuff in my store, that I can make it easier to get it in people's hands within days as opposed to like months.
Right.
Well, I definitely feel you on the extra income. For a while, I had a OnlyFans page on Instagram, but OnlyFans actually paid me to take it down. I don't know why I'm doing that. But I'm gonna guilt trip you a little bit here, Edgar. These two guys know because they've been to the crib. But I used to live directly across the street from a well-known hobby shop, like within walking distance. We all three of us have walked there from where I used to live at. And but I want to support you, so I order from you. There's sometimes, I'll run up there because I see that you don't have it in stock. I'm like, all right, I'll get it there. But majority of the time, I'm like, no, let me just get it from Edgar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just coming from somebody that within walking distance. I'm talking 1,000 feet from a hobby shop. I place my order with you. So. Because I appreciate when you do it. It goes outside of the podcast. Like David said, that was very important to me. How you said, yes, you can get away with a cheaper tool, but it's not gonna last as long, or it's not gonna cut the way this one cuts. To me, all that's important, and I tinker with my cars. And in my mind, I believe I can do a lot of things that these certified mechanics can do. I can't do everything, but I just don't have all the tools. With a proper tool, you can do just about any job. So I appreciate you coming up with this store and having these products available for us. And like Francois said, the customer service, to me, that's like the number one thing. So I appreciate you having outstanding customer service.
Thanks, man. Nah, for sure. I mean, I know everybody in the US, you know, I know there's hobby shops, but then there's some that obviously have closed down and they've gone away. But
Right.
but you know, I always feel like, you know, whatever you guys need and it's there for sure, support your shop, you know. And if maybe they don't have what you're looking for, you know, and I have it, you know, then I'm there as an option, you know, like to be able
Yeah.
to get it for sure. Because I know like where I'm at, you know, here in Southern California, there's Pegasus, there's also a Burbank House of Hobbies, and then uh, going a little bit more further up north, there's Ventura Hobbies, and I mean those are three shops that are I'm close to, but they're also like an inspiration to me because I see what they got, and it's almost like a blueprint, you know, and at the same time, it's like not that I'm, you know, trying to like take away their customers. They have their client base, and I feel like there's enough people for everybody for sure, you know. But it's just, you know, letting people know, you know, I'm there as an option. Like if
Yeah.
there's something
Oh,
people want.
I bet you get tons of local business too, because I know with myself, I'm about maybe 30 minutes away from, you know, local hobby town. But, and I'll tell myself, I need to run over there, grab whatever. And by the time I actually do that, you know, that'll be like the weekend, because I'm busy with work or whatever. It would have been way faster for me to just order it. So I finally learned that, where I just order things, you know, a lot of times out of convenience to save me the time. And also with gas now, it's cheaper just to order stuff.
How much is it right there where you guys are at right now? The gas.
409.
What is it?
409.
409. All right. Dang. Yeah, I'll be here. It's almost like at 7.
Damn.
Yeah, what we got now is like regular California price.
Yeah,
right?
you guys got the
You don't get the whole
price right now.
California prices.
Damn, right on, right on.
No, but you're right. You're right about also supporting the local hobby shops, because we used to have 2 where I live at, and one of them actually closed down. And you know, the guy was just up there in age, and his health wasn't that great. And I was that guy in there just about every other day asking, "Can I go up in the attic and look?" I'll sign a waiver right now. If I fall through the ceiling, I'm not going to do it.
Well,
You know,
that's crazy.
because you're right. If you don't support them, they'll eventually go away. But the way I support them is I buy RC stuff from them. I buy Hot Wheels. I'll buy kites for the kids. I'll buy stuff that like rockets, you know, those rockets that you launch. That's how I also support them, you know. But I like supporting everybody, even if it's just a little bit, you know. I don't always buy, but when I buy, I put some thought into it, you know, because I don't want them to go away, you know. You're right about that.
No, that's cool. No, yeah, it's because I mean, at some point, man, like, you know, if shops would go away more, you know, we're gonna miss that feeling, you know, the nostalgia, everything that we were used to doing back then. And it's like, nah, I mean,
Oh yeah,
hopefully,
it's not the same. It's not the same. Like
yeah, it's
going to
not.
a
It's
spa
definitely
and
not.
look at everything, it gives you an inspiration. Oh, it's a different feel. And online, it's easier, of course, but
Mhm.
it's not the same.
It's also like an excuse to get you out of the house, you know?
That's true.
Exactly.
Yo, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm working towards, you know. I definitely want to get a place, like a location. That's the goal right there for me, you know. I remember it was funny last year. I kept telling myself, oh, maybe at the end of the year, I could lock something down, right? But you know, as things were going, I started to learn like, nah, it's not just gonna happen like that. It's gotta take some time, but I'm set on it already, you know. I've
Yeah,
been
you're on
set
your
on
way.
it.
You're on your way. You're learning every day, slowly
Yeah.
getting there. You know, it's not like you're gonna get a spot tomorrow or something. No. You get all your experience right now. So whenever you decide to open, you're gonna be on point.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
when
It's
you
coming.
get
If
there,
you put that mindset, that energy into it, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking about brick and mortar?
Yeah. Brick and mortar.
Oh, dude. Yeah, hell yeah.
when you get to the brick and mortar, yeah, you can reach out and we'll franchise it. We'll have skill riders. So,
Yeah, I know, right?
you know,
That'd be pretty sick to be able to do something like that. It's last year I did turn it into an LLC already, writers.
Yeah.
And today it's weird because today I had gotten a notice in December because every year in California you're supposed to pay an $800 tax for your corporation, and today was the due date for that. But it was so weird. Like 2 days ago, I started doing some research, and I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna pay this on Tuesday, but let me I want to see someone do it online, pay for it, right? It's like a 2-minute video, and then I'm reading the comments, and then there's a statement on there, like a link saying people that are LLC for the first year don't have to pay, they're exempt from it. Because in California, because they got signed or whatever, like a bill because of the pandemic. And I was like, wait, what? So then I had to like send out some emails regarding that, and they told me, yeah, you're exempt from it. So I was like super happy today because I was like, man, you know, instead of paying that tax, since it's exempt for the first year, now I could use that money for product.
Congrats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, every penny, everything counts right now, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I was like super hyped about that today.
Yeah, good reason.
Yeah, that's great news, man. Congrats.
No, thanks. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing my homework aside from like the selling part and everything. I'm trying to research to see what are other opportunities on there for it to grow, to expand, you know, to something else, because I'm in it for the long haul, dude. I'm all in, you know.
It'd be good
Yeah,
if you
well,
could
when
have
you're
like some
ready for
product
the
to be
steel
able to
writers
do.
in Texas, let us know. So.
Yeah, definitely, man. For
You know,
sure.
if you could have like some, I don't know, like a brand of tweezers or something, like which brand, like your brand into it.
Yeah, branded stuff for sure, definitely.
That would be a good thing, you know. That would be
Yeah.
like free advertising every time. Whenever somebody use the tweezer, they see your brand right there.
Or yeah, the exacto handles.
Oh yeah.
Like that, yeah.
It's
It's always
badass. Oh, some with some candy paint, some patterns on 'em or something, like already even just a wrap or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, everything's possible.
Dang, Chester is reminding me. He's saying, don't forget about the rehab center for the modelers. Damn, imagine that.
What?
So,
Damn,
But yeah.
Model Builders Anonymous. Nah.
If we spend too much time at the bench, right?
Yeah.
sponsored by Revell and AMD.
That's crazy. Let's see. Anybody on the chat right now have any questions? Feel free to ask, so this way I could pass them along. We still have some time. How are you guys feeling? I know it's kind of late out there in Texas.
I'm actually off the rest of the week. I'm gonna try to do something with the kiddos for spring break. So I'm good.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, we're fine. I usually don't go to bed until at least 1 o'clock tonight. I'll be all hyped when we get off of here, and so I'll be up late tonight. I'll be all wound up and shit. 3 o'clock before I pass out. It's fine though.
That's cool. And as far as the awards, what kind of, do you guys want to kind of tell us what kind of awards are going to be that you guys are going to be giving out? Because
yeah, so what's cool is that these guys agreed with me. It seems like we're trying to be cheap asses by doing these small awards, but we're not. The reason I wanted to do smaller awards to begin with, they're acrylic. They'll be the gold and chromier ones, kind of like what we saw with Dedicated, and what I've done in the past year with the last show, with the Boulevard show. They're the gold mirrors, but they're, acrylic cut, engraved with a little, be like, I guess what would be, just a little card to go with the theme of the award. And the reason I wanted them small is so you can actually post them with your car, with a little stand, and so you can take a picture with them and it all be in frame. And also, many of us have boxes of awards that are just either thrown away or hidden in under the bed or whatever. And yeah, I don't know.
It makes more sense. It's more convenient that way. Like the
Yeah, I don't
style.
like, even at, a showdown, the guys are like, I'm gonna take your award, blah, 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 I'm gonna steal them. Like, take them, please. No, you're joking, but I'm serious, take them. I don't want them.
Yeah, it takes a lot of space. You don't know where to put it, and that way, the tiny one is just you can put it in a box with your car, and
Yeah, put it in the same box, exactly.
and that's it. You don't want those big trophies like like race cars or things like. You don't want that. I mean, some people want it, but
And if you do, there are other shows for that. You can do that.
yeah, but for us now, we decide to be like different. For every aspect is gonna be different.
And again, it's not as being cheap asses. It's just a preference. That was my idea originally, and then these guys all backed me up on it. And because when it came to the dedicated show, they were kind of laughing at me. I was like, "Oh, they got to be bigger." LOL. Come on, guys. There's a reason for that.
That makes a lot of sense. The tiny one, like the business cars size.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a few over there, and I put in a box with whatever car I want, and it's so much better.
Yeah, I have it in my display case, like sitting behind the car, and it's almost, and it looks cool. It's definitely not in scale. It's not super tiny, but it fits in the frame.
It looks good. I hope
Yeah.
we're starting the trend right there, and then every show is gonna be like this,
Yeah.
I mean,
so we lost our
okay
host.
I'm okay when I win something. It's fine, but it takes too much space. I don't know.
Yeah, this will make it more fun to win to me. Yeah, even though you're like, it's not as cool. To their credit, I will say it's not as cool as to take that picture with your award.
Yeah, it's a mirror, so
yeah. Also, but we don't have to do the mirror. They haven't been cut yet. I have done the artwork though. Almost done with that.
okay.
We can do like some clear blue or whatever color we want to do with them if we wanted to still. So it's not too late for that. So
Yeah,
discussion for the future.
don't discuss that.
Yeah.
Hey, David, what about I wanted to ask you while I have you on about the ice cream trucks.
Okay.
Wu-Tang.
I thought you asked me about dedicated
MF
magazine.
Doom and all that. Plug us in. Tell us about that.
So actually, we can thank Andres for this. He's the one that shared this photo with me. It was just some cardboard thing that somebody did of a MF Doom food truck. It was a concept. It was just a little piece of art. Wasn't anything fancy. It's definitely, it seemed, I don't know. It was out of cardboard and stuff. It wasn't anything fantastic, but it was a great concept. I'm like, oh, dude, that's exactly it. Because I've had these. The Deadpool 24 scale Jada trucks that I did the photo etch for already, and I had some ideas. It just never really, I guess I wasn't passionate enough about it to complete the idea. And then that popped up. I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna get some decals made for that. So I drew it up like that same day. The thing I loved about the MF Doom one, that album, Food or whatever, it's the track listing, is like a menu where it plays as a menu, and then with the time length works well as the prices, because nothing, they're all like 3 minutes long or whatever. So I just stole some album artwork, photoshopped it and sized it to fit, and then so we did the 24 scale, and then also had the idea, the 64 scale, the Hot Wheels, so I can actually share them with everybody and them not being stupid expensive. And Hot Wheels just turned out to be really fun. It's like I can buy a lot of them and then tear them apart and just do them all at the same time. So that's, so while I was getting the MF Doom decals made is when I had the ideas to do the Wu-Tang. That would just seem like a no-brainer. Wu-Tang ice cream truck. Eminem had just done the Mom Spaghetti, pop-up restaurant, so the artwork was there and just ready to go. And it just spawned different ideas. So I was able to do some of those at home while I waited for the Doom decals to be made, because I was doing the green paint and you can't do, clear decals over that. So I had to get them professionally made, which was also just a tie-in for me to get those other decals. I wanted to have the wood grain decals done for the photo etch sets, like the 65 Rivety and the Regal. So all that it's just a good coincidence, a happy accident that everything kind of just came together at the same time and really worked out. So anyways, I had fun doing the artwork. I did a lot of YouTubing, on how to tear these things apart, how to, what's the fastest way to strip them. A lot of the stuff is, parallel to what we've already been doing, easy off to strip these things. I found out how to do the card, the background and all that stuff, how to print them and all that, and recycle the capsule, plastic piece for the front of it. I've actually been doing like floor wax. What's that floor wax that we use for like windows and stuff like that? The future floor wax. I use that to give them that gloss shine because they get a little fogged up and everything. So I've been bringing those back to life with that for the capsules. And it's been cool, man. It's been cool to find a new audience. Kind of dipping in my toes into the hip hop toy world, which is fun, dude. I love it. I'm a big hip hop head, and it's just cool to be a part of that now. And then I did it was just a stupid one I wanted to do for myself, which was Leaders of the New School, which a lot of guys, it's a deep cut, Busta Rhymes group, from, most of you guys will know it from like, What's the Scenario, Tribe Called Quest song, that had Leaders of the New School in it. And I just did that bus, nothing fancy, but I had fun doing the card artwork. And with that, I decided to tag Dinko D, who's an original member of that group. And he decided to share it and hit me up saying, let's work. I was like, fuck yeah. That was the one I did for myself. I wasn't even trying to like flip that. I bought like 4 of those just to do. I don't know, man. I'm having fun. There were 6 of them bought by the National Hip Hop Museum. I didn't know existed. Yeah, I showed you that. It was like fucking cool. So I don't know, man. I'm having fun with it. And I'll do more. Homie of mine hit me up with an idea today. Master Ace sitting on chrome.
Ooh, that's dope.
I gotta figure something out with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun, dude. Just a cool way to play around a little bit more.
Nah, yeah. I mean, they look awesome. Especially, I feel like that the Raekwon, the ice cream one, kind of set it off, right, in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. So eventually, So I started off just doing those as gifts for everybody for Christmas. It's like, this is just a cool Christmas gift idea. And I figured I'd do a few more to sell eventually, just to, just satisfy everybody. And but I posted those ones on sale the other day, and they're everything I had in stock sold out already. They're starting to cut into pre-sales or pre-orders. So it's cool.
Yeah. And what's like the limited run you're doing on each one? Does it vary, or are you trying to go the same on each one?
So I just did dozens of each, just to start out and see how it goes. I found out that there was definitely room for more, but that kind of adds to the exclusivity of it. I'm not trying to sit down and do these for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? I just want to have some fun with it. They're fun to do in batches, because you do one, you do the paint on one, it takes you all 2 seconds. So it's fun to do them in batches anyway. You're going to do a dozen of them or whatever. So it's just easy that way. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Whatever drives me at the time, right now, I definitely want to do some more, but also want to get back to doing some model cars and do some dioramas and focus on shows and dedicated magazines. Got to get back to that. So there's a lot of things I always get, and more photo etch. Like I still haven't even finished that artwork up yet. So I don't know. There's a million things pulling me different directions, and I just kind of gotta go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Go with what drives me right now, and try to keep an eye on what's next, so I can kind of continue that path and not fall too far away from anything.
Man, that's awesome. And any updates with Dedicated magazine?
Yeah, it's on me right now. I got to get to work. Willie's got a lot of stuff lined up for me. He's got articles written. We've got tons of photographs and you know, coverage from the shows. We've got, you know, the little online show that we did. You know, where everybody submitted photos for our online super show, which is going on 2 years, a year, or at least a full year at least. So yeah, it's on me right now. So my apologies to everybody that it hasn't existed yet, but I haven't lost my drive. I was telling these guys that, you know, watch out, because you know, to help me out, man. I'm a little bit of burnout, you know, from everything going on. And with me, it never lasts. Like, I've never been away from the scene, like anything, you know, it hasn't been noticeable, I don't think, for anybody. But I'll go through my little short burnout. So I was telling these guys, make sure you pick me up. You know, I was starting to feel it at some point. So yeah, these guys are just, they got my back on everything I need. They're like, just whatever you need, hit me up. You know, I'll step in and help you out with whatever. And these guys are, yeah.
Yeah, good thing that you feel before, you know, when it's too late, something, you know, that you like preventing.
At least recognize it, you know.
Yeah, these guys are the team right here. With these two right here by my side, you know, not even on my back, on each side or in front of me too. I'll take a back seat. I'm good with that. You know, we're going to do some amazing things out here. And this has been my plan. You know, it's like Dallas as that new Mecca. You know what I'm saying? It's always been Cali. And I'm not trying to take it away from Cali. I'm not trying to change that, but I'm trying to be equivalent to, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's good because you know, it's awesome to see you know, like different shows in different areas, because it's going to inspire other people. Like, I would want to see, you know, like the builders from like Arizona, for example, start throwing shows, getting together to have people to come out there, you know, and then, you know, could be Colorado or other shows. I don't know, any neighboring state.
Yeah,
would be pretty sick, you know.
that's gonna be my goal too, to start hitting these up as vendors, man, and just start floating around and getting just to get a good taste of everything. Speaking of Arizona, you're gonna be going to that super show coming up, like next weekend?
Oh, the Lowrider Super Show.
Yeah.
I think
You go-
you know, I believe tickets are already sold out, dude.
Really?
I think so. I mean, that's what I've heard.
The model car contest next weekend or whatever?
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the Lowrider Super Show.
No, it's a super show, but it's a model car show.
Which
The
one's
dude
this
that
one?
was videoing the dedicated one, that dude.
Uh-huh. Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. Oh, Arizona.
Yeah. Nah. I don't think I'll be able to go to that. Dude, I completely forgot. I do remember him talking about it at the show, at your guys' show.
Yeah, they started off hot and heavy with the promoting and everything. And Willie texted me today. He's like, "Oh, that's next weekend." I was like, "Oh shit." I was like,
Nah,
"Are they promoting it?
know.
I don't know." But are you going? He's gonna try. I think he's gonna make it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, I hope it does well. You know, it seems like, you know, we need to hit every show we possibly can.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, like, for me, like for this year here in California, I only thought that it was just gonna be the show, the SoCal Open with Art, and then after that in November, another show, and that was it. But he started like just name dropping all these other shows. I was like, damn, I'm over here like trying to write everything down. It was like a ton of shows. I didn't know all those shows were going down. I had heard some of those had gotten canceled, but I guess they're back. But you know what? Out here, you know, I did a show not too long ago in Ventura, and I mean, it was kind of a trip, but everything just felt pretty normal. Like everybody was there, nobody's rocking masks. Some people were. You know, everyone felt comfortable. You know.
Yeah.
And it was a small space too, where, you know, you could be paranoid in there, like, oh man, like what's going on? You know, open up a window or something. But yeah, I don't know. It was chill. Nothing. I don't know how is it out there.
It's like that. Like I've been guilty of being like that guy that's not wearing a mask because I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And that's how it was even at our March show. You know, the show, just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And it's a pretty good space. That's probably a good 5,000 square foot or so, maybe more. But yeah, most people weren't wearing masks. There were a few, you know what I mean? And it didn't feel like any judgment were, you know, either way on either side of it. Everybody's just having a good time. It's happy to be there, you know? Yeah, especially after, last year, everything was canceled pretty much, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, things seem to be pretty chill, you know, as right now, you know, there's other shows coming up. Nothing's getting canceled right now. I feel
That's
like-
the thing here. Like people were asking, you know, people that were planning on traveling, like George, you know, Vision, you know, it's like, what are the possibility? What are the chances of this thing getting canceled? It's like, we got Abbott as our governor, man. There's not gonna be any more cancellations. You know, it's like, it's
gonna
not
happen.
happening. This dude's like, yeah, he's a Trump type of dude. You know, we're not.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen. You know, they're not shutting down any businesses over it. And give a fuck if we die over it. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be happening.
Things move, right?
So,
Yeah,
and then the video was cool too. That, you know, the owners of it, they're like, you know, yeah, they're down for whatever. They're gonna recommend masks, but that's about it. You know.
Yeah, it's like optional, you know.
Yeah.
If you want to rock it, go for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because even like art show, you know, it got postponed obviously a while back, but even now going forward, it's like a green light, full on through, you know.
Yeah.
And I believe all those other shows, and I know they're gonna do, from what I've seen online, the NNL West. I hope it goes through, but who knows what kind of a turnout that'll be, because it's in a different month compared to the January. And then again, you know, people who had to cancel or had
Right.
to, you know, whatever
They're
the
not gonna be able to
situation-
reschedule.
yeah, maybe reschedule, you know, who knows how that's gonna play out, right
Yeah.
there.
Excuse me one sec. You guys continue.
Yeah. And what I was gonna ask you, Francois, as far as you had posted the other day, hydraulic pump setups for sale. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up with that? Like, if somebody's looking for a 124 scale, or can it be pretty much any scale for that kind of a
124.
setup?
Yeah, 124 for now, because that's all the parts I have. I don't know, for some reason, like I start buying so many parts to build hydraulic setup for no reason, just for me. And then I'm like, yeah, I got way too much. And then at the same time, a lot of people were asking me about, oh, can you make it for me? At first I was like, I can tell you what I use and you make it yourself. But I guess people don't want to spend that much time on that, because that's kind of like a whole different task, you know. When you make it, it takes a lot of time to make those things. So it's kind of like compare, like you build 2 cars instead of 1, you know. But then people were asking me, oh, well, can you make it for me? But I wasn't really feeling safe about shipping that. Gonna go back to the shipping thing, because I didn't know how to ship. It's too fragile. I don't know, it's tiny pieces, all that. It's metal, it's plastic, it's a lot of different materials. So it's not really bonding together. It's more like gluing together only. And I wasn't really sure about shipping it. But then at one point I decided to go a little further into that and try to build a crate and all that. And I shipped it to someone, and it got there in one piece. And that's why I decided to offer it to people, you know, just a small run, like of 10, no more than that, because it takes a lot of time and I don't want to hold on people's money for too long. I hate doing that. So just a small batch, you know, of 10. And we'll see after that. Whenever I'm done, if I do another one. I don't think so, because I get bored easily. I don't want to get bored through that batch already. So I'm gonna have to do kind of like what David, you do with the Hot Wheels, you know, like I build them all at the same time, you know. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fun. I kind of like to make that. It's fun. It brings the build to life, you know, a little more detail into it. It's a fun one. I did once the 110 for you, Andres. It was much easier because it's 110 scale.
Yeah.
But then of course the part will cost more money, you know, and then people don't understand the cost of parts, the time spent on that, and then some item you can't just sell. That's it. I just
Yeah.
accept the fact that you can't sell everything, and that's gonna go for the 110 scale. I can't. It's easier for me, but I won't be able to sell that. I can't justify. Or people can understand how much I will have to charge, to make up for it, because I can't work for free. I can't. There's a lot of hours spent into that. So I'm just gonna focus on 124 for now. Small batch. That's all.
Nice, nice. And Andres, I wanted to ask you, I saw you had posted on your Instagram some photos with posing with some lowrider cars. Tell me about that event.
Yeah, that was my dream collection, man. So there was like a couple of car clubs. Well, actually, it was just one, Dallas Lowriders, that they actually hosted a part of a segment of the show, and I really wasn't gonna go. I was actually headed to a toy show, a Dusty Attic toy show, but it turned out I looked at the date wrong. It was actually the next day on Sunday.
Oh,
So I was
my bad, dude. I think it was on me too.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we went to the to that Dallas Art Museum show, and I'm really glad I went because there was so many artifacts there from all kinds of tribes and societies, from the 30s to, it was just endless, and I really appreciated that. And then the cars were really just a huge bonus. It's nothing that I don't see at a typical car show here in Dallas, but it was great seeing them outside of a parking lot. They were actually on display, and people that I would never think would give a second look at a lowrider were actually taking pictures and asking questions like, what does that do? And did you buy this part like that engraved, or was that custom? And they were showing a lot of interest because I have a feeling that for a long time, people were under the impression that a lowrider was just, a four-door car with the wheels, spoke wheels sticking out, missing the center hubcap, one white wall out of the four tires. It just looked like a beater, and I really, stress that that's not a lowrider, it has the lowrider style wheels, but it's not. So I really appreciated that show because it brought a new life to the scene. It is artwork. Some of those paint jobs in the interiors were really, really, how can I put this? They were out of this world. I was like, man, that's subtle, but at the same time, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of details. So I really liked it. I wish we had more of that rather than our typical parking lot shows or at a recreational park show. This kind of, in my opinion, helped more crowds outside of the lowrider community embrace our culture, what we're about, and when I was growing up, if you had a lowrider, you were a gang member or a drug dealer, and I have a lowrider, I'm neither. So, it just, it helps educate the public that, just because you drive a lowrider doesn't mean you're a gangbanger. So it was a really good show. I wish I would have stayed there longer. My friend didn't make it. His 62 Impala broke down, but there was a really nice turnout. Like I said, I wish they would have those more often, just to educate the public outside of the lowrider community, what we're about. I really liked it.
Yeah, from looking at the photos, one of the cars that stands out to me is that Disco Lady, that Monte Carlo.
Oh,
Good job on that.
Loki's.
That thing is amazing. And I didn't feel like I posted too much pictures or too much videos. As probably most of you guys can tell, I'm not very active on social media. Even in my real life, I just enjoy the moment. I have a brother, my brother, he'll take a picture of everything. Like he has our lives documented, the pictures, and I don't. I'm completely the opposite. I'm just in awe, enjoying the moment. And my pictures are up here, you know, my mental memories, you know, that's what I have. But I probably should start taking more pictures of cars or my memories. But yeah, that disco lady was insane. Every time that I looked at it, it was something different that I would notice, you know. There wasn't a lot going on with the paint, like it wasn't too crazy, but it was certainly a car that got a lot of attention, you know. So
Yeah,
it's nice.
is that one of the popular car clubs out there?
Dallas Lowrider, yeah. They're pretty popular. They got really, really nice cars, and they actually drive them. You know, they're not really trailer queens. I've seen these cars when I go pick up my daughter or when I go get good tacos, you know, and I'm just like, oh, I've seen this car before. So, and it's proof because, like I said, my friend with his '62 Impala, he actually broke down on the way there. So, you know, they're actual street cars, but you look underneath the undercarriage and it's all chrome, gold, painted, engraved, you know, and these people drive these cars, and you know, I prefer a driver than a trailer queen.
Yeah, what was the word you call them? A trailer what?
Trailer queen.
Trailer queen. Tell everybody about it. What is that? What's the definition of that?
So I didn't know what that was, right? So I went to my first Lowrider magazine tour show here in Dallas. I think it was in the mid-90s. And this one guy, he was being really loud, and you know, I think I was maybe 14, 15, and he's talking really loud, and he was telling this other guy that was asking him about his car. He had a you know, plastic body, and he was going, ain't no trailer queen here. And I was like, I don't know what that is. So I walked up to him and I asked him, I said, what's a trailer queen? Well, what do you mean by that? I thought, you know, some queen was in the trailer that was going to pose with the car like a girl model, you know. And he's like, you don't know what a trailer queen is? I said, I don't know what a trailer queen is. He goes, come here. And he started up the car. I thought it was a show car because it had the, you know, those ropes that they used to have at the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep people back. He had those. It was on carpet. It had mirrors and lights. And I was like, man, this is a show car. He went over there, started the car, and you know, showed me. I drove this up here, you know, and I was like, oh, is that what a trailer queen is? And he said, no, it's the opposite. You know, cars that you don't drive because you don't want to scratch them, you don't want to wear and tear on them, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's what I would do if I had that kind of car. You put all that time and money, you know, and then you just haul it around and you don't really enjoy it because, you know, you don't want to damage it. But, you know, that's when I found out what a trailer queen was. It's the car that you don't drive, you just haul it to shows on the trailer, you know.
Hey, real quick, where was that show at?
Dallas Museum of Art.
What year? Ish.
Wait, the Trailer Queen show?
Yeah. What year was that?
This was probably in '98.
Right on. Yeah. I was probably at, because I just moved to Dallas like '97, so I was like hitting shows. I'm sure I was probably there, dude.
Yeah. No, that was an actual Lowrider magazine tour show when they used to come. So.
Yeah. Did you ever go to the? Sorry, everybody else. Did you ever go to the one
Go
at
for it.
Bronco Bowl?
Yeah. It was that one and the one in Fair Park.
Yeah, Fair Park. Yeah. That's what's up.
Are you sure it wasn't Cotton Bowl?
No, Bronco Bowl. Remember the bowling alley, and then they have the venue, the club, and all that, the music venue, and then they had one year that it was like '97, I'm pretty sure, where they had it outside in the big parking lot, so like the right of the building, and it was all back there. That's where like So Pain and everybody was like performing.
Angelina,
and SPM was there. Yeah, not Selena. She was too cool.
No, Angelina.
Oh, Angelina. Yeah. And I remember going to see DJ Laz, and not specifically to see DJ Laz, but Laz was at like the Fair Park one.
Oh
And,
yeah.
The Pimp with a Lip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angelina.
Lighter shade
Angelina
of
was
brown.
dope. Huh?
Lighter shade of brown.
I don't remember seeing.
Yeah,
Laz
they were
Shade.
there too that one year. They were there.
That's cool.
But
Anyway.
sorry, Ed, you're rubbing
Yeah,
it
sorry.
about-
No, it's all good. I remember hearing that those groups, some of those groups you guys are mentioning, Lighter Shade of Brown. That's funny. Damn.
Yeah, Lighter Shade of Brown, Kid Frost. What's DJ Quick's own boy, High C.
Oh yeah. Had it not been for my brother and his wife at the time, I don't know if I would have gotten into lowriders. You know, I have a brother that's 5 years older than me, and had it not been for him, I would have never gotten into it. You know, so I have him to thank, my brother Cecilio.
Hey, Francois.
Yeah.
What got you into lowriders, dude?
I was in Europe, so it was different.
Yeah, so it's not a commonplace thing. You know?
Yeah. I remember I went to a show one day. It was in Belgium, and there's this German guy. They were big in lowriders. I remember they brought, still remember, Mercedes 500 SEC, something like that,
Yeah.
as a lowrider.
Like what
I
year?
remember purple. The top was like zebra. I think it was super ugly, but whatever.
Yeah.
And they have also 64 Impala.
Oh wow.
And I saw that one, and then they start hopping. And I'm like, oh shit. I was maybe, I don't know, like 12, 13, something like that. And I'm like, oh shit, what is this? You know, and I fell in love right away. You know, I looked at everything, like the wire wheels, the white walls. The 64 was good, the Mercedes not so much. And then I start, like, you know, trying to get information. And I was like, where was that? In 2000, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2000, exactly, in 2000. And then I started to look at, you know, there was no internet, you know, like there's no Instagram, you can hashtag everything you want. It was really, you gotta look really hard to get some information, especially from over there. And then sometime in a library, I mean, in a, how do you call it, a newsstand or something, they have like some lowrider magazine. And I bought those. Then my only thing was rap videos. You know, I had to
Nice.
VHS, and then rewind that thing just to look at my favorite part. It was this. It was some movies, you know, like what's that movie called? Set It Off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With that blue 62.
Yeah.
I had this. I had Dr. Dre, Still Dre, that
Cool.
video. That's basically all I had, you know.
Yeah.
There was like repeat like this. So I'm done. Okay, let's rewind this. Let's watch again and just pause at the right moment just to see. What's this? What's there? You know. And then of course start with the models. You know, like I remember first lowrider was like a 63. The one you like, Andres, the beautiful, the box with the gold one, like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that was that one. I made it super ugly because, you know, first build, you know, super ugly. I remember I painted the white walls with like a brush, you know, that disgusting. But yeah, that was my first experience in lowrider. I fell in love right away when I see that. And I still remember both were purple, but. I think I have a picture somewhere. Like I have to look for it. That was beautiful, and I fell in love right away. Like when I saw that thing, and then I was asking people, oh, "What's this? What's this?" They were German, so I couldn't really understand what they were saying. And you know, German is very an aggressive language, you know. And and then yeah, they were showing me this, and then some girls went in the car, and then they have to hold like a cup of water in it. And they start hopping the car, and there's water everywhere. That was fun. That was a really fun experience.
So done. I'm in.
Yeah, I was in. That's a new recruit in the team.
Man,
Yeah.
it was the water in the cups.
Yeah,
Wet
seriously.
t-shirt
And then they go,
contest.
like going crazy and all wet and all that. That was fun. You know, that was a cool one. And then of course I've been to few shows over there, but there's not that many. There's like maybe 1 or 2 clubs in Belgium. And but I gotta say they go all in, you know, like I really respect the work they do over there because they don't have the resources we have
Yeah.
over here, you know, like they really do an amazing job. Like whenever I see those guys, even up to these days, and I see these guys, the car they have, they go all in. And it's I respect that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad I'm here now. So New York, it was a little different. They have like a few cruises and all that, but it's not there. You know, it wasn't there. Since I moved here, I'm really happy. I'm really, the car culture is much bigger here in Texas. And the lowrider scene is a lot bigger too, and it's fun. I really like it. I feel like I met a lot of people already, so that's cool. That's a cool crowd to be in, you know. And like Andres, you say, we're not gangster. We just we like cars, and that's it, you know. But that's one thing in Europe. A lot of people see a lowrider, gangster. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop
I
culture.
don't know. But that's the thing, you know. Whenever you see on the news or whenever they talk about, they always say, "Oh, gang and they're lowriders." And then people over there, they dress like cholos. They have no idea what it is. It's funny to look at, but it's kind of sad. They always bring that up, you know, the gangster side of it, because the lowrider got attention with movies or something like that, and that's what they put them together. And yeah, that's very sad that they went to that point, you know. But anyway, we know we're not gangsters, and that's
Damn, Set It Off is a pretty cool movie to watch as a reference.
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that because I haven't watched since, you know. So
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that since the 90s. Yeah.
Hey,
now I speak English now, so now I will understand the movie.
Oh yeah.
Back then I was like just looking at the image. That's all.
Hey, Francois, next time you come to California, I'm gonna have to take you to that tunnel where before Cleo gets shot.
Oh really? Oh, let's go then.
Yeah, it's here. It's in LA, so we'll have to drive through it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Let's go see that. What about the one in Training Day when you get
Yeah.
shot also?
Yeah, I mean that was shot in various areas throughout LA. But yeah, I mean now it's a trip because now there's all these like vloggers that do videos where they'll go out to locations where it's from movies. So I've seen like the Blood and Blood Up one. It shows you locations where they shot that movie. Also, I'm pretty sure there has to be like something with like the Set It Off and Training Day, definitely. Just because people want to know, you know, there's stuff like that even for like Fast and Furious. They'll be like, oh, this was the location where they shot this scene, or this.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, they'll post up in front of the houses. Like,
yeah, this is where they live, right here.
Like Back to the Future and you know, Goonies and all that shit. They'll post up in front of those
I
houses.
feel bad for people that actually live in these homes right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they almost got to embrace it. You know, it's like, you know, it's gonna
I
happen.
heard like for the movie Breaking Bad, like people were really mad. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
people are throwing
heard that
pizzas
story,
on his
right?
freaking roof.
Yeah, they're really mad because there's always people driving by and they cuss at them and all that. So I mean, I get it. You always have people looking at your home, you know. But anyways,
Right on. Is before we wrap up this episode, is there anything else you guys want to add on to the event you guys got coming up?
you guys gotta come.
Yeah.
Bring a lot of cars, and that's it.
Yeah, it's worth the trip.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make it worth the trip, and we really are trying to consider the point of view of our guests, you know, as far as with the parking and the food, and we're just trying to consider everything, because I know when we've been to shows, we're like, you know, we would have liked this to be different. So we're actually trying to act on that, just, you know, just so that everybody can enjoy themselves, because sometimes, let's face it, you know, it gets kind of complacent and it gets boring at times. So, you know, this location had a lot to do with that. So we really hope to see everybody there.
Yeah. Plus, we can grab everybody because we're like in the middle of the country, so there's no excuses.
Yeah. Flights to Dallas are cheap.
Yeah,
You know,
no
hotels pretty
excuses.
cheap.
Right in the middle.
And we have a lot of fun at our shows. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
We,
the after party, I mean, that's always been great.
oh, last one. Even though the show was mediocre, I mean, it was great having everybody there. Location was mediocre. The after party for the last one was amazing. That was like the big thing. Yeah, it's like everybody just dancing, having fun with DJ. Yeah, it was great. So
Yeah, even we didn't even have a show. We just had like a little meet at one time. What was that? The truck
oh yeah,
yard?
the junkyard. Yeah, great.
We didn't even have a show. It was just a meet, and you know, it was just great.
Was that the one that Wes came out to as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was our little impromptu like meet because we had to cancel our show. But yeah, we still had we set up over there. I contacted them. They didn't even know what the hell to expect. We just showed up with a bunch of model cars, set them up on these picnic tables outside, and just hung out there. Yeah.
And then people look at it, they just pick interest and all. That's what we're trying to do with our show. Is there's a lot of foot traffic around there, right? In the afternoon. So we're gonna try to, catch people, like if they want to see an art show, and that'll be a good way to showcase our work to everybody.
Yeah, and if you've never been, because I used to be in that position, just come out, man. We're all very approachable. We're not there to judge like, oh, you didn't do this right or whatever. Especially if you're starting off, because we've all been there. Just come out, even if you're not there at that point where you want to show your build. Just come out and attend, see what we're about, and I have no doubt that you'll like it. So.
And yeah, and as a new person, it is important to bring your builds anyway, even if you feel like you're not ready for winning the best of anything. It's still important to bring your work out once so everybody can admire and appreciate it. We've all been where you've been at. We've all been a new guy at some point, and so we all appreciate and respect what you're doing. And two, you can actually, having your work there can allow you to have us to help you with, whatever it is that you're questioning about what should be that next step for you as a builder, to take it the next step or the next few steps. We can help you out with that, just showing and just encouraging you and showing, dude, that you're not giving yourself enough credit, you know what I mean? Or, just to actually see that shit, they all have flaws, like even that best of show car, I can do that, you can be in that level, that's one thing about going to shows is like, you'll see that none of them are actually perfect. And I don't even try to make mine perfect, that, just having fun with them,
Yeah, and also to add on to that too, like for people that come out and they bring their cars, like it'd be nice if they say what's up too. I know it's sometimes breaking that ice or just saying
to
something
make
can be
friends.
very tough, but just say it because we see it happen at times where people go to shows, they set up their cars and you might recognize the car, but you don't know where the person's at. And then the show's over. And then later that person's posting like, yo, I had fun at the show, or yo,
yeah,
you're like, dude, like I didn't even get to see you.
Something.
We've all been that guy. I've been that guy, that didn't really like make my presence known as who I am, So yeah, definitely introduce yourselves. Yeah, because and you see our faces, you know who we are. So come say hi. Yeah.
Yeah, just to make friends. That's it.
And that's what ultimately it turns out to be. It more than just it being a place to show our work. It's a big hangout, man. We'll have a good time and just, blessed.
And I remember a lot of people not complaining, but a lot of people pointing out, oh, we don't have enough shows. We don't have enough shows. Well, this is something we're organized to kind of make up for that. So if we don't have attendance, I mean, we can't continue to do these shows. We're not making lucrative money out of this. We're doing it because we like it, and
If anything, we're gonna lose our asses money wise.
But
we're kind of throwing it all out there, man. We're throwing a lot of money at this thing just in order to make sure this is exactly the way we want to do it.
And it's out of our pockets, and we all have lives, but it would really suck if if we have a low attendance, you know, because we're not doing it for the money part. We're doing it just to get it out there, or not a message. It's not a
Yeah, for the love, man.
yeah, for the love, you know.
Nah, hell yeah. Well, fuck, I would start telling people, yo, it's gonna be my birthday on this date. Start imagine.
Okay. Well, dude, after party will be your birthday party. Come on out.
Woo,
Yep.
come through.
Yeah.
Nah, hell yeah.
Start picking a fight with your wife right now. So.
I know. I'm gonna start
Yeah, start lighting it up.
beefing already. Nah.
And you can pick the spot, man. We can make a strip club if you want to, whatever.
Nah, if I go there, I ain't coming back home. They're gonna tell me that's it. We changed the locks. The mail's being forwarded to like your parents' house. Dang, that'd be crazy. But hey guys, it was awesome talking to you guys. This was cool. You know,
Thank you for having us.
yeah, nah, you're welcome. I hope the viewers out there enjoy this as well, and the listeners also. Hopefully, keep the Zoom going again. I mean, it has been like I guess like a year or so since the last time it has been done on the Scale Riders podcast. But I mean, this was pretty cool. You know, it's nice to see your guys' faces. Obviously,
Was it the last Zoom one? Was that the one we had with Dennis and Armando and everybody in Georgia?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was a long time.
Yeah.
We did that one, you know, maybe almost 2 years. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
It seems like a long time, but it was awesome. I mean, if you guys have any questions, you know, the viewers, listeners, you guys want to hit up any of the guys, I mean, they're obviously on Instagram. Do you guys have like an email or setup or somewhere where, you know, people want to hit you guys up, or what would be the website that people can also visit for the event?
The website is plasticsocietydfw.com. So plasticsocietydfw.com. Also, you can just reach out to me. Most of you guys have me on Instagram or whatever. Yeah, Detail Junkies. Or reach out to these guys, Scaleton, Andres 3000. Any one of us would be happy to answer any questions.
Awesome, awesome.
But yeah, and then from there we can send you the link, so you don't have to remember the website. Just reach out to us.
Yeah.
We can send you the link because we'll have the forms and everything. We can, you know, fill out your registration forms and look at the classes and all the rules and everything, you know.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, thank you
I want to
guys.
say one thing quick.
Yeah, go for it.
If everybody wants to support, they can sponsor the awards if they want to. That would be cool if they want to be part of it.
Yeah, for that, yeah, we do have some open spots. The website, I've got them on my site, junkees.net, where you can actually go through there and select which class you'd like to sponsor to make it easy for everybody involved, myself and you guys. You can just see what's available. And you can, yeah, you'll have your name on 3 of those awards. In some cases, like some of the theme awards, it'll just be the one award, but it'll be one bigger award. But yeah, good point. Yeah, you can totally just, yeah, sponsor whatever you want on there.
Awesome. That's cool. Well, hey guys, that was a pleasure. David, Francois, Andres, thank you guys for being on the show, taking the time. I know you guys are like hours ahead of me. Obviously, it's a lot later over there, but I hope you guys get some rest. And tomorrow, you know, a new day, continue on. This is episode number 156. And shout outs to you guys. I hope you guys have a good night. And for everybody also that stayed up with us, thank you. And shout outs to you guys.
Thanks,
Everyone. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you. Peace out.
Bye.